This one has more depth of field. Absolutely no difference in the dynamic range. Recently, I put two photos up on Facebook. They were done with the Panasonic GH4 and one with the Nikon D4. I'm going to do a more intensive video coming up. But I put it on Facebook to see if anybody could tell which was which, or which was better photo on once it's been compressed down for Facebook. So I put them here, and I said, everyone, oh, I've got a client, I need to tell them exactly which one's the best photo. And it seemed to have been quite difficult for people once it's all been compressed down, at least to Facebook size here. First one saying they look like they've been taken with the same camera. Some people saying I can't tell the difference. Somebody thinks that the top one's the D4 and the bottom one is the GH4. At the moment, I can't quite remember which one that is. Then we had a good little discussion about exactly what is the resolution differences between the 16 megapixel Nikon D4 and the 16 megapixel Panasonic GH4. And you've got to remember that the Micro Four Thirds sensor is a different format. What do you call it? Ratio format is what we call it. So 4:3 instead of 3:2 instead of like 16:9. And we talked about once they're both corrected to be the same as the Nikon 3:2, the Panasonic has lost a little bit of its resolution, and I think I found out that it loses 1.76 megapixels, or 11% of its resolution. So it's not the total 16 megapixels that we expect it to be if you're doing it in the same crop as the Nikon. Anyway, here are the two photos for you to decide. We'll go over the differences. Did you see the difference? Did you see the swap there? Look. Boom! Do you see the difference? Clearly one's done with the flagship Nikon D4 and the other one with the Panasonic GH4. I'll do one more time. Boom! Whoa! It's just like so. The £5,000 worth of money that you spend for the difference clearly has a massive effect. However, I'm going to go into this a little bit different and show you here. So, from this point of view, this is a high res. I think this is me exporting out at my print resolution, which is around about the 10 megapixels for the final image, and this is it on my full Mac. I'll make it go full screen, kaboom, and make that bit go up there, and this bit go here. Does that do anything? That doesn't really do anything. And whoa, this is big. This is, how big is this? That's like that big. That I'm seeing it just now. And at this state, I can. Oh, bollocks. Okay, yeah, I can tell which one is which. Yes, and it's so obvious. It's so obvious. If you're watching this on a mobile device, you're not going to be able to see the difference. Is it which one? Okay, totally got it. So first of all, with the Micro Four Thirds sensor, it is 2 times a crop factor compared to the Nikon full frame camera. If you get lenses which give you equivalent field of view, you are effectively using a lens length which is half the size. So a 7mm on a Micro Four Thirds has the same field of view as a 14mm on a full frame camera. Now, going from 7 to 14mm means that we get potentially more depth of field at a given aperture. And so if I am right in this, so if we look at this one, if we look down here, look, that bit is in focus, as is that pillow in the background. But if I go to this next one, that pillow's in the background, but that's almost that bit which is right next to the camera and totally not important to the image is a little bit out of focus. Dun 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 dun! Oh, also maybe the flowers in the reflection of the mirror are a tiny bit out of focus. And in this one, dun 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 dun, they're totally in focus. So this one has more depth of field, more of the image is in focus. However, we're talking about something which is like 20 centimeters and reflected off the building. So that's like, what, 3.5 meters, the reflection 6 meters away kind of going on there. But yeah, full frame, the bigger sensor pixels, more dynamic range, blah blah blah. So let's look at that dynamic range, which we're clearly seeing here. So here we've got very super bright ultra highlights in the lights up here, and again these are great examples up here for lights, and again the light at the back here. If we go from this one, there's the dynamic range. This one, there's a dynamic range. I'm seeing zero, absolutely no difference in the dynamic range of these images at all whatsoever. So the whole claim of full frame camera gives you better dynamic range, blah blah blah, bigger sensor pixels like buckets soaking up water. Maybe in some cases, but in the work which I'm using, which is kind of a high dynamic range situation, from black fireplaces to bright light bulbs to blowing out windows at the back. Oh, maybe that's not one. Look at the window at the back there, and the other image. Oh, there. In fact, if anything, that one's clearer at the back than that one, and that would almost give a heads up to the Micro Four Thirds. It's imperceivable differences going on here. Where I can see a difference is, let me just check again. So this one, the Micro Four Thirds, even from this point of view, it looks like there's a little bit of grain in the darks of the fireplace and the TV. Whether this is something which I could have maybe just done by adding a little bit more noise reduction, that's to be remained. See, because this one, I was like, is this the Nikon D4 or have I just added more noise reduction? It's very difficult to tell. There's a little bit of color noise. I can see some slight green and red kind of smudges again on the fireplace, but the actual kind of noisy grain, the luminance grain, doesn't seem quite as bad. And on the Panasonic, the luminance grain seems a little bit more aggressive. So yeah, again, we're looking at this at high resolution here, and it's millimeters difference. It's fractions of a difference here. So although some people were able to guess that, wait a minute, this one was the Nikon D4 purely by the noise in the TV screen, to say that makes it a much better image, again, especially when compressed down for web use or even for print use, because I'm seeing this is way bigger than my print. Tough one to really argue, to really promote people to say you need a D4 if you're gonna be shooting property. Oh, it's the dynamic range, you need it. No, it's the low light performance. No, oh, it's the color and saturation. Nah. Not massively seeing it. Not massively seeing it. Anyway, another video coming up soon as well. Bye-bye. One last thing is that if you are on my photography channel, you may not know that I've got two other channels. One is my exercise channel, which you can check out, which is Dom Bauer Exercise. I think the actual name is just youtube.com/Dom Bauer. And I've also got another one on this channel, so I've got Dom's Talks. And a lot of that is going to be about me dealing with my first ever newborn baby, little Logan Bauer, born on the 4th of September, and so I'm learning to be a dad. So it's all my mistakes and all the things which I'm learning which are quite useful. So if you want to see more about little Logan and how he's getting on, check out Dom's Talks. And if you want to see, I've also got Dom's Flights as well. So again, I'm doing a lot of stuff flying my DJI Phantom around the places, and also going through the process of getting the license to do it commercially. So if you want to see how I'm doing that, check out the Dom's Flights channel as well, which I put all the links to down below. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.